Hello and welcome to 100 Million Possibilities Show. How have you been today? So, my name is Liga Zena, and if you don't know me, I live in Latvia, and I do lots of all sorts of things. And over the past 10-15 years, I've been doing a lot of personal development trainings, spirituality trainings, and all sorts of trainings that basically help me to get where I want to go and make my life so much easier. And if you want to hear more, watch my more videos, there is a links in the comments to my YouTube channel called 100 Million Possibilities, where I share like daily tools that can help you do your daily life. So today I would like to talk about ask and receive energies. I wasn't sure what to talk about today, and I kind of put the title Ask and You Shall Receive, but then I realized that the title kind of entails that if you ask, then it means you are going to receive, which is not always the case. That's why I kind of renamed it Ask and Receive Energies. And I want to focus today on specifically on the energies, because that's something we actually don't ask for. We normally ask for like material things, more money, a bigger house, nicer house, a partner, relationship. We kind of used to asking those material, visible things, and we usually forget that there are the things called energies that we can ask for as well. And how does that work? Like, for example, I don't know if you like to watch a guy called Scott McKay. He's a Patriot Street Fighter guy. And what I like about watching his videos is his energy. It's his energy that he gives when he talks about all these shills that are constantly making bad comments on his videos. All these people that like YouTube, that they are taking him down. People who are wearing those face diapers and jabby things and all that sort of things. And I really like his energy. And I realized that I'm kind of missing that thing in me. Like, it's not like I don't embody that energy in my personal life. And so what I did, I actually basically asked, what would it take to actually have that energy in my life? Like, what would it take to actually be able, to it's not be able, like I can physically talk to people and tell them off, but it's usually something that holds back to actually do that. And so basically I've been playing with the idea of actually having that energy in me, like having access to energy, because it's a lie that just because we don't have it, we can't have it. It's the same with material things. Just because we don't have it doesn't mean we can't have it. We just have to ask. And how do you actually receive? Because that is usually the problem. It's not the asking that's the problem. It's usually receiving is the problem. Why we don't have that thing. And I remember like a few years ago, someone said, just because you ask for it doesn't actually mean that you asked for it. And because sometimes we ask for something that we don't really want to, or we just think we want to, and in the end we kind of waiting for it to happen, but that doesn't happen because we actually never asked for it, or we think we asked for it. We just kind of wishfully think for something, or wishfully wish for something, but it doesn't happen because we actually never ask for it. So when it comes to the energies, it's kind of one of those things that, like, let's say, for example, you notice that you are, let's say, for example, you are single, or basically you want to pay rise. yeah, when you want to have more money and you want to go and ask your not employer, you want to go and ask your employer for pay rise, or you basically, yeah, basically when you're single, you want to ask someone out, and you are actually and you know when you watch those movies where people are so confident and they go ask someone out, and they're so, like, how to say, they're so confident and they are able to ask it, but when you actually think of yourself of asking the person out, you already go into this state of fear and anxiety, and sweat goes down your forehead and all that sort of stuff, and you realize that you are actually never gonna do it. And so how do you ask for that energy? You basically, let's say if you're watching that movie, and you see, oh, this is what I want to be able to actually ask a person out. And so basically kind of play with that energy. Just because you ask for it, at first it feels like scary, because even though you are just thinking about that thing, it doesn't mean like it's actually gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, but when you actually think of it, you go into the fear, and you know you're never gonna ask it. But play with it. What would it actually be like if you actually if you actually ask that person out, or if you actually went and talked to your employer to have more money? And at first it's going to be scary, even though you are just playing with it in your head. But just go through this. Go through this. Oh, Jesus Christ! Just go. Just go through with these emotions and get kind of familiar even with that fear, because no one is seeing you when you sit in your living room and pondering how it's going to be like when you ask someone out or ask for pay rise. You basically, no one sees you, no one's judges you. Only person who judges you is you. And just imagine, and then when the kind of emotions and feelings go down. Hi, Marcus. Hi from New York City. Oh, I wish I was in New York City. I wish I ever visited New York City. I'm actually in Latvia. And hello, Avenging Scapegoat. Nice. Hello. And so, yeah, how do you actually ask for that thing? Well, I already started about that. Oh, sorry. Comments kind of distracted me. And then once the kind of this emotion goes down, because you kind of start to, even in your head, you become familiar with that situation, you basically then start to play with how would it feel that you actually were confident and that actually the person said yes, or when you ask someone out on a date, or the person or your employer said, yes, I'm going to give you a pay rise, or maybe I'm going to give you even like a promotion or something like that. So that's kind of playing with energies when it comes to actually asking for something where you have to actually go and receive that thing. Because just it doesn't like it's not gonna always be like that you sit by your desk and wish for pay rise, and your employer comes to your desk and says, oh, Liga, would you like a pay rise? Oh yeah, yes please, I would like that. It's not gonna always be like that. Most of the times you actually will have to go and do the receiving, and receiving comes from actually going and taking an action. But I want to talk more about actually how you ask for the energies, like how you like say if you want to be more confident, or you want to be more like even like be well Jesus Christ, even like talking on a video like I'm doing. I'm kind of nervous. I'm still talking, and I know that with the practice I'm going to get more natural. But I've done enough like videos to not let that scare me. So again, I'm kind of got sidetracked because I was at the Scott McKay thing. So basically, what I loved about Scott McKay that he is so courageous that he can tell people off when they are coming to him. Like for example, if the policeman comes to me and says, "Oh, Liga, you're not wearing a mask," I don't know what my reactions would be because I remember once when the police stopped me, like for no reason, literally for no reason. I live in the middle of nowhere. There is one road that goes past my house, and there on this road there are only two houses. So technically, only me and the person who lives in the other house has a reason to be on this road. And then I'm driving on the road, and the police car stops me. Like I was more suspicious what that police car is doing there, then police car should be less suspicious what I'm doing there because I actually literally live like 100 meters down the road. And in that moment, I actually was kind of scared. We are in Latvia, people are like it's almost like it's a default emotions when you see someone from authority and you basically go into the mode of defense, and then you're it's almost like you're already guilty just because someone talked to you. And I really hated that feeling. I really hated that I feel that way when I see the, let's say, police car or police stops me. And it kind of ties in, like for example, if someone like Scott McKay is stopped by the police, he's gonna give them mouthful. He's just gonna basically tell them whatever he thinks. And so I've been asking for that to be in my life, to have that energies that I'm not scared to open my mouth and tell my own truth and follow my own awareness, and actually believe that my awareness is, like, I don't want to say absolute truth because there is no absolute truth in life, but basically that truth is true for me, because just because it's true for me doesn't mean it's going to be true for you. But when you speak your own truth, it comes out like naturally. And we are so scared sometimes to speak our own truth because we don't want to be judged, we don't want to be ridiculed, we don't want to be shut down, we don't want to be penalized for that. And that's what, like, when you kind of look at these energies that you want in your life, like when you see like a really confident person in your life and you want to have that in your life, just basically at first it's going to be scary because you're going to feel like you actually have to go out and do that. Like for example, if I'm scared of like policemen stopping me and penalizing me for something like wearing a face diaper, then it's gonna feel like I'm actually have to go out and do that, but it's actually not true. It's almost like you are playing with that energy in your own. It's like playing Monopoly before you actually go and buy like a real estate um, investment or something. You actually play with fake money first before you go out in the real world. That's how you play with the energies that you want in your life, to get familiar, kind of familiarize yourself with them. And then universe or God is going to give you situations where you can test yourself. So today it tests me really hard, this particular energy. And I'm so grateful that I asked for it. And I'm so grateful that I do have a tools how to actually make it easy for me. Like if you want to go to my channel to watch today's daily tool, it's called an affirmation. It's basically a tool that that came to me this morning during the meditation, and then I used it throughout the day. And I basically had two big fights on Facebook. At the moment on Facebook, because in real life, due to lockdown, I don't really see that many people. But I'm sure I will be able to tell them in the face whatever I said on the post. It's basically I posted that one of my acquaintances' dad died from a jabby thing. And so basically, that post gets deleted from Facebook over and over again. And people actually are, and I kind of posted it on the Facebook, and it's kind of ridiculous. People are on a fact checker side than on the side of the guy whose dad died, because he knows what his dad died from. Fact checkers don't know that, and fact checkers can check it like in a second. So I kind of got in a heated argument with two people about that, and it kind of was intense at the beginning, and no one was there like to defend me or anything. It just was me and that other person, where I normally would go into defense mode and get upset and angry. I actually kind of felt really good and didn't have emotions involved, because if you are playing with energies, and if you are let's say if you are not kind of ready yet for the fight, you're going to be emotional and you are going to say something that you might regret later, or that you might start to personally offend person. But if you are going into the fight with no emotions, like with, it's almost like, because you as a being are the strongest that can ever be there, and you have access to everything and all the information. If you are going into the fight with emotion, you're kind of putting those clapper things, and you can't see what's on to the left or the right. I don't know what's. But when you don't have emotions involved, you have access to you, and you can have an argument that's, you don't even know where the information comes from when you're actually arguing about it. So I kind of got sidetracked again. So basically, what is it that you are asking? Maybe not asking. Maybe you're not even don't know you want to have. Like what energies? What is that? Those things that you actually would like to have, but you don't even know you can ask the universe, like ask God to show you, because you have access to everything. Only thing that's are in our way is our blocks. I was doing this when I got this today's like daily tool. I can check my channel for that. When I got this tool, daily tool on affirmation, it basically gave me that sense that you as a being are like a diamond. Like it's even bigger than a diamond. Diamond is even like a fraction of what actual being is, and nothing can really destroy your being. You have access to everything when you are truly being you. Only thing that gets in the way are all the learnings and decisions and judgments and everything that we put ourselves to put on ourselves during their lifetimes and during this time, previous lifetimes. And basically, when I started to use this daily tool, it started to remove all those blocks that are keeping me away to accessing more of you, more of me. And this is where basically I got so much more ease to accessing the energy that kind of Scott McKay embodies. Like, I don't know if you watch this video, I really recommend you to watch that. And basically, what I noticed arguing with those people on the Facebook, they just keep like showing like a fact-checked facts in down my throat, and then I realized that my awareness and my knowing is more, and my common sense is actually worth more than some stupid fact checkers. Because fact checkers don't do any fucking fact checking. Sorry. So I don't know what else to say to you. So what do you want? What kind of energies do you want to have in your life? What is it that you think you are missing? What energies you can play with? It's almost like, when you go to the shop and you said, "Oh, I would like to have more confidence, maybe doing live videos," or "I would like to have more confidence talking shit on video like I'm talking now." Or I would like to have, because everyone, like, let's say with money. Let's say if you want to have more money, it is not gonna come just because. Well, sometimes it does. Yeah, exactly. Fact checkers are there to block the truth. They basically, I don't know. It's like a fact checkers or something. Oh, I get tired of this. And the funny things why I posted something like literally a year ago. Latvia is a really small country, and literally a year ago, Facebook opened fact checking office in our city, and I remembered it today that it was fairly recently before, not a year ago, 2 years ago, year before all this mayhem started. They opened the office in Riga in Latvia, and I was wondering what did they know that we didn't know. So what is your truth? Like if you want to fact checking kind of distracted me again. So basically, yeah, if you go into the shop and you want to shop for energies, like you want to be more confident, you want to be more courageous, you want to be more, I don't know, loving, you want to be more, have more gratitude, you want to be confident in certain situations, because there are some situations where we are kind of being ourselves, and there are situations where we just everything just goes down the window out the window when the situation comes, like I'm me with the police people, and just basically it's almost like you take out, instead of first buying whole subscription for the thing, just take a sample of it, like in Amazon lets you sample, like like a Kindle books you can sample. Just basically you basically sample the energy, how it does feel like. Let's say how you like, let's say for example, if I want to be more myself when I'm with a police person, I actually would kind of imagine myself in the situation now, how I would want it to be in the situation. For example, I would have asked, "Why did you stop me?" And instead of it being like attacking the person, just basically asking, "Why did you stop me?" Because there were no reason. I couldn't even speed, because you can't go on the road for more than 30 miles an hour. So it couldn't be like, unless he basically thought like I'm drunk driving and using, like, those small country roads. But even that, I wasn't driving like a maniac, because you can't drive like a maniac on the road. So basically, imagine yourself in that situation, instead of going into in this paralysis when you can't think straight. Just start to unravel, and maybe use again this tool. Yeah, just watch the video on my channel, personal channel, that's in common, daily tool number 6. And basically use that tool to actually unravel that situation, and ask for these energies. Like for example, I was driving once, I think on the weekend, to pick up my cousin, and I saw this big mansion, like really huge, where I know people who live in there, but I've never been in that mansion. And I basically asked, what would it be like to actually live in that kind of house? And suddenly I kind of perceive that energy. This is actually how you ask for it, because universe will have to go and show you how it is actually to live in that kind of mansion. It might not be that it's going to give you a bigger house, but it's basically maybe your house is going to start to feel like living in that kind of mansion, or it's basically going to give you, because universe's job is to prove you right. If you are asking for, let's say, what would it be like to live in a beautiful house, universe will have to prove you right and show you how it is. But if you are asking, oh, I'm so wrong and I'm so miserable and I'm so unhappy, universe will have to prove you right and show you how miserable and how unhappy you are. So that's how you basically ask for the energies. And you can use the same thing asking for material things as well, but there is lots of information out there how to. And even like I get sidetracked a lot today. So basically, if you want to have more money in your life, one thing it could be that you find a suitcase with lots of money in it, or you win a lottery, which is kind of highly unlikely if you actually investigate what lotteries are about. But you need to have certain energy. Like, for example, how does it feel when you have like a $10 in your account, and how does it feel if you would have like 100 million in your account? And play with these energies. Which energy feels like lighter? Which energy feels more familiar? Let's say if you have $1,000 in your bank account, and that's kind of fairly comfortable for you, it's gonna feel light and easy. Hey, pink pastel. Yeah, you can ask. Well, technically it is. You like, okay, I'm gonna finish the current topic. So basically, how does it feel to have $1,000? If it's comfortable for you, then it's gonna feel light. But if you are like imagining $100,000 in your account, how does that feel? Does it feel light? Does it feel easy? Does it feel icky? And it's not because those $100,000 are bad. It's because it's unfamiliar for us. It's almost like like when you're living in an abusive relationship and husband beats you, it feels familiar, and husband not beating you feels unfamiliar. That's why lots of people stay in abusive relationship, because they don't know how it is to live outside of abusive relationship, or they don't know what or it's unfamiliar, and we kind of always stay away from unfamiliar because it's we stay away from unfamiliar because it feels scary and uncertain. So basically, if you are settled at the low frequencies, okay, if you are settled at the low frequency, seeing the world through the eyes of love, forgiveness, and compassion, lighting your own body through right food, that you can exactly, because all these things basically have more of you. Sandal phone 9. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, it's basically that's what it is, because because love, forgiveness, compassion, lightning through your body, it's all you. It's all kind of natural you. It's like imagine if you are pure diamond. That's you. All these things are okay. One second. Uh, and it's all part of you, and all these things that we kind of put on ourselves and let society put on ourselves, it's kind of blocks the power to actually be ourselves and have access to love, forgiveness, and compassion, and all these things. Okay, can I ask universe to heal my house? But I do wonder what it would be like to have not so much work in it. It's 9 rooms, and I have MS, but it's the only home I knew since I was 8, and I'm 36. You can ask universe to heal my house. Living here would cause me more stress, and I can't handle. Okay, avenging scapegoat. I would actually recommend you to go to my personal channel and look for the daily tools that you can actually start using. It's a thing like, you know, when we imagine ourselves doing something really huge, like for example, leaving a house where you lived all your life, it's scary and it's big. But when you start to play with the energies of, like, let's say, take all this big fear and kind of look at it and use like maybe one of the tools, like that I'm sharing in my daily tools, to actually kind of crumble off like a little bit of it, because we always think like if we have if it's like eating an elephant. It's like if you're feeling like if we have elephant in front of us and we think we have to eat whole elephant at once, we're not gonna do it. It's just impossible to do it. And what if you actually ate a little bit of it? Like one day you eat one part. Okay, I'm not suggesting you go eat elephants because they are beautiful animals, but it's just as a metaphor. Just every time you use a tool to change something in your life, that elephant gets smaller. Like the same, like I don't know if you watched my video from beginning. When I first asked to have that energy that Scott McKay has when he calls out those shills and tells people what he thinks of them and about the face diapers and all that stuff, it felt like I'm never gonna get that energy. But when I actually started a little bit by little bit, like using one of the tools to actually change it, today it became kind of real. I don't know yet how it's going to be when I actually have a face-to-face interaction with a policeman, because my point of view, that was my kind of ask, because I didn't want to feel that way when I'm with a police person, with authority person who actually, it doesn't mean that just because they're authority person, they have to tell me how to live. And okay, Sandalphone says, see the house as healed already, see it fixed and smudge and feel what it would feel like to have it just the way you want. Exactly, because you have to already imagine, because at the moment, like I live in a house that's not finished. Like this thing is not painted. There is actually wallpaper. And I changed last summer. I changed my windows, but all the window sills, around it, it's not done nicely. So every time I look at my house, I see those unfinished bits and pieces, and it's kind of, like, oh, it's not finished. I look at my ceiling, it's not done, but I actually don't see the things that are done. So basically, first thing I would recommend, you look at the house and ask your show to show, like, look at the things that you're already happy with, because there must be at least one thing in your house. Make maybe like one corner in your house where just lights up your heart. Like, I don't know if I can show you. I'm gonna try it. Like, for example, when I first moved into this house, there was nothing. Like, it was literally house that was built in 1924, and it was pretty much the same way. And I didn't have much money. And before I moved in, there was a fire that destroyed one wall. So I actually had to rebuild one of the walls. And so basically, I created like this wall for me. I don't know if you can see it, like big windows, nice wallpapers. I bought like the chest drawers in IKEA, and this is like a place in my house when I look at it as like, it's like lights my heart up. And when you kind of focus on this, universe is kind of going to match that energy. And instead of me looking at the windows, I don't know if you can see it or not. You see, this thing is not done up because I want to change all the drywall here because it's not properly done. And so instead of me focusing on that window not being done, I'm actually focusing on that wall that's in front of me. And for example, recently my bathroom is not done at all, and it still has like a damage from the fire. And actually, recently I put like a really nice ceiling lamp because the previous one I didn't like, it was damaged and I didn't like it. So I put in just the one little piece in my bathroom to actually make it like nicer. So how is it going to make it nicer if everything else is still covered in a smoke and stuff? But what I noticed that by just putting in that lamp, the energy around bathroom has changed. And now I actually bought like a cleaning supplies. Like it's not expensive. It's like €1 or something to buy cleaning. And now I actually want to actually go and remove that smoke. All my ceiling used to be white. Now it's like a grayish. And I actually want to repaint. I actually bought the paint. Because once you change this just tiny little bit in your house to something that you really like, it's change energy in the house. It basically change energy in, and the house starts to kind of support you, because if you judge it, it has to prove you right. It has to prove you, yeah, let's say if you judge your house as small and dingy and dirty and things like that, it basically has to prove you right. And it's actually basically gives you more of that. Like, and another thing what I noticed, somebody gave me this great tool, is basically destroy and uncreate all the anti-consciousness and unconsciousness in your house, because your house is a living being. It has its own energy, it has its own consciousness. So how do you do it? You basically said, I destroy and uncreate all the anti-consciousness and unconsciousness into my world, not in my world too, in my house. And it's basically your house starts to become more and more alive. Another thing, you can clear entities, because if you're living in an old house especially, there are probably lots of entities living with you. And maybe you know someone who knows how to do it. Just basically, yeah, you need to maybe clear entities. And I can't even use my bathroom. I have to use the downstairs, but it's down to legs just give out, and I'm afraid of falling downstairs. I can't. Okay, what can you introduce in your downstairs bathrooms? Okay, so basically, like, again, start from where you are. Like, if you can just change like area around you, it's just basically even like a finding tablecloth that makes your heart sing. Even that's gonna change energy. Go and get something. Yeah, me too. I wish I could teleport. And you know what I recommend you? I'm gonna write it in a comments when I'm finished. There is a lady called Lisa Bennett. She is from Canada, and she is such a lovely lady. And she is actually space whisperer. She calls herself space whisperer, and she basically works with houses. And she has, I think on Fridays, she has like a weekly show. Every Friday, she has a show on Inspired Choices Network, where you can actually ask for consultation around your house. And she's amazing. Yes, exactly. You can purchase a rug in your favorite color, and yeah, exactly. Because that, just anything that makes your heart sing, the more you put these things in your life, it creates more for you, and it starts to kind of affect other areas of your house. Because if you wanna, if if you live with that rug for a while, you start to notice that you want more and more of that. And I really recommend you to checking out Lisa Bennett. She has lots of videos on in her radio show, and she has classes, online classes. It's basically her classes around the house. Like I was on one of her classes, live classes, a couple years ago in south of France. She did, and basically the class looks like that. I'm standing by the whiteboard and I'm drawing my house. I'm drawing where's my living room and my kitchen and all these sort of things. And it's actually the way her class works. It brings up so much. Okay, one second. It brings up lots of your personal stuff, and it's amazing. Yeah, I recommend you to check out Lisa Bennett's if you want to change things around the house. And it's actually, in that sense, it actually changes your living and your life as well. Because what I notice when I'm clean and tidy my house, my money flows increases. So what I notice when I want to have more money in my life, I go and clean my house. And she actually helped me manifest this house where I'm living currently, because I met her in January 2018, and I've been living in. I moved from UK to Latvia in 2014. So since 2014 till 2018, I lived with my parents because I couldn't find my place. I didn't have a job, and all those reasons and the justifications. So basically, I met Lisa Bennett in January 2018, and I got my house by end of April. So that's like January, February, March, April, 4 months. It took me 4 months, and actually wasn't intentionally working on getting a house. I just really like her classes. And so yeah, my bathroom is my dad's man cave. He's not a clean person. So don't look at that. Don't look at the bathroom. Find a different corner in your house that you can make yours. Find a different corner in a house and make it yours. Like make it 100% yours, and don't look at anything else, because even you don't have to start with the bathroom. I just use that as an example, but yeah, just start with one corner, and it's only like, as the Sandal von 9 said, just purchase a rug in your favorite color, because it adds energy to your no, what did I do? Because it creates energy, and it creates more energy of what you would like to have in your life, and universe starts to notice that, and it's gonna give you more of that. So I think I'm gonna finish here today. But honestly, if you want to kind of start to change your life just by a little bit, go to my personal channel, check out my daily videos. Some of the tools might not be good for you, but there are plenty of tools that are going to be good for you, especially the one I shared today. Number one tool, which I'm using constantly, and I'm using every morning. I'm doing Awakening Prologue meditation by Holosync, and it's amazing. It gives you like lots of awareness. And ask, I make plop spots and a spot I can just hang out. Just tell your dad, keep out of my spot. Be that energy of the man. That's your spot. And tell your dad he can go and sit in his bathroom all day long, but that spot is yours. That's another thing you can ask yourself. Be that energy and play with it. You don't have to go and tell your dad right away, like be demanding. Yes, I have a personal YouTube channel. It should be in the comment, in the description of the. It's 100 million possibilities. At the moment, there is not like loads of videos, but I'm just kind of starting out. Ask for energy of demand, being demanding energy. Demand your dad that that's your spot. Yeah, you have to tell your dad, like, because your dad is, because you're not allowed, not tell, it's not that, it's like those not the borders, barriers, nah. What's the saying is boundaries. You have to kind of train your dad to keep his boundaries to your personal space. And it's not going to happen today or tomorrow. It's going to come with time. But you have to become more kind of familiar with that energy when you ask someone to keep the boundaries. Keep the boundaries. And yeah, use, like, what tools I would use in that situation. Yeah, one of the things I would ask for this energy of demand in my life, and just imagine what that would be like, that you can tell your dad without emotion, Dad, this is my spot. That's where you basically have to, like, what would it, like, you have to, like, I would ask, what would it take to change this? And basically ask yourself over and over again, what would it take to change this? And what energy do I have to be for him to respect my boundaries? Because he's not used to it now. He's basically, even like if he's like a little child, even to the child, when you say something with a certain energy, it listens to you. It's like a dog or a cat, like our pets. They can be like, for example, I have my cats for less than a year now, but they don't touch my flowers. They don't ruin my cables. Like they like to bite those what's called for headphones, those wires and stuff. Because from the very first beginning, I kind of allowed them to do what they do and be the cats they are, but there were certain boundaries. Like, I really, like, literally told no to don't touch my plants, don't eat my wires. And the more you tell them, the more they start to respect it. And you have to, like, basically train yourself to be that energy of demand. And yeah, basically, I would recommend to Avenging Scapegoat to actually look up Lisa Bennett's, and because she's amazing when it comes to spaces. She's a magician. And okay, I'm gonna finish here today because I'm usually talk like for less than 30 minutes. And thank you very much, Sandophone and Avenging Scapegoat, for beautiful comments. And I'll see you soon again. Have fun. And if you have any questions, just, I don't know how you can message me. Just comment on one of the videos and I'm going to respond. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.